Deidre?
Wait.
Deidre?
Who's Deidre?
She's not there.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Repertory Company Theater's RCT360. And this is webcast number 20, ladies. Can you believe it?
Cannot believe it.
We can legally drink in a year or an
Right?
episode.
I was gonna say that.
We'll be legal. It'll be great. Well, as you can see, there's kind of a theme going on. I'll just get right to it. This week, our theme is all booked up. We're all booked up, and we're gonna celebrate authors and writers in our favorite books. What do you think about that?
I love it. I love to read, so I'm on board.
I do too. This is so fun, and it's such a fun tie-in with music too.
Oh, yes. I'm looking forward to maybe some neat guests and some fun Broadway trivia that might, I don't know, reference back to our wonderful theme. But Rachel, you always kind of have a little moment to share. Is there something in a book that maybe you'd like to share with us?
You know, when we were talking about the wonderful theme of All Booked Up, it reminded me of one of my favorite poems by Emily Dickinson.
Oh.
The poem that I no longer have pulled up on my computer.
It's not memorized. I am very disappointed.
It should be. It should
What's wrong
be.
with you?
No, and that poem is, there is no frigate like a book to take us lands away, nor any coursers like a page of prancing poetry. This traverse may be the poorest take, without a press of toll. How frugal is the chariot that bears a human soul. Good stuff, isn't it?
I love it. That's beautiful. You know, Rachel, I think at one point, Laura in another episode compared you to a glass of fine champagne, elegant and classy.
Yes.
And she compared me to a squeaky wheel. And I think that is holding true today. Thank you so much.
I wasn't wrong.
It's
I'll
true.
take it still. I'll definitely take the champagne.
Right?
I've heard worse about me, so I'm good. Yes, so we're all booked up today. We're so excited about this episode. In fact, I asked some of our friends of RCT and some of their family and kids to send in a picture of them with their book or a picture of their favorite book. So ladies, take a look at this. So many wonderful books, right, ladies?
Absolutely.
By the way, what are your favorite books, Laura?
You know, in my early, like preteen days, like 5th and 6th grade, that's all I would do was go to Walden Books with my allowance and buy a book every single Saturday and read it before the end of the day on Saturday. And I loved the Babysitter's Club books and Sweet Valley Twins and Sweet Valley High. I loved those as a girl. They made me so happy.
Do your twin girls read any of those now? Have they gotten into those at all?
I attempted, but they told me they were old.
Oh no!
Oh, that's terrible.
It's all right. They don't know what they're missing.
They don't. How about you, Rachel?
Okay, well, in my adult life, I really do love historical fiction, and I love Lisa C. as an author. So Snowflower and the Secret Fan and Shanghai Girls and Dreams of Joy are all amazing, amazing books. But Laura, I am so with you on Sweet Valley Twins and Sweet Valley High. I mean, I love, there was a bookstore by our Albertsons, and I could go in and grab a really good, juicy Sweet Valley High book. I always felt like I was more of an Elizabeth than a Jessica.
I know Jessica was the wild one.
She was the wild one, but there's a place in life for Elizabeths and Jessicas.
There
and
is.
I celebrate them both.
Yay.
That's awesome. Well, if you haven't figured out, in our household, it's the Harry Potter series. We have had this read out loud multiple times in our household. We've seen every movie as well. We've enjoyed it all, and it's been a real kind of bonding experience for our whole family. In fact, if you want to kind of feel a little bit old, it was 20 years ago this week that they announced the 3 young actors that were going to be starring in the first Harry Potter movie. So it's been over 20 years since this first book was released, and it's brought a lot of fun and a lot of joy. And you know what else brings me a lot of fun and a lot of joy? It's listening to Rachel and her quarantine confessions. So, Rachel, take it away.
Thank you, Deidre, and welcome to episode 20 of Quarantine Confessions. Come closer, but not too close. Okay, friends, today we're going to talk about strengths and weaknesses. I feel like that at this stage in my life, I have a good sense of what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. Pivot tables on Excel spreadsheets, not really that good. Hand-eye coordination, also not great. But at the risk of sounding like a humble bragger, I am a good reader. And more specifically, I am a good reader of board books that are aimed towards, let's call it 6-month to 3-year-olds. I kind of rock at bedtime, I'm not gonna lie. And so I brought some of our favorite books that I like to read with my 2-year-old to Quarantine Confessions today. Why, there's Bear Snores On. That bear, every single time, never wakes up for the party, and yet the party continues. Staying on the bear theme, The Little Mouse, The Red Ripe Strawberry, and The Big Hungry Bear. This is actually a current bedtime favorite and memorized quite well. You should hear me do it. It's amazing. And finally, and this is truly one of my child's favorite books, I think he got it from his father, General Relativity for Babies. I didn't really know what a singularity was before this book, but now I have an understanding of Einstein's theories on like a 2-year-old level. So, friends, understand where you're good and where you might be not as good at things in life. And if you need to find me outside of Quarantine Confessions, you might find me reading one of these fine books to a certain 2-year-old I know. And that is today's Quarantine Confession.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Oh, I just love Bear Snores On. And now it's time for Laura and In the Spotlight. Who do you have for us today, Laura? Take it away.
This week's In the Spotlight guest, someone who I have known since my early teen years, one of the coolest chicks I know. Please welcome to the webcast, Bonnie Barber. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, Laura. It's so good to see you.
Thank you for being with us today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so much for asking me.
First off, could you tell us a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do?
Sure, absolutely. So you said my name, I'm Bonnie, and so my official title is I am a public services librarian, but that doesn't tell you a lot about what I actually do. So really what I do is connect all the citizens in the community I serve with resources that can enrich their lives. And I do a lot of specialty work with youth. So in my work with youth services, really I'm supporting their caregivers at the earliest ages to get these kiddos ready for school and really to support these students with learning success through their whole education and hopefully make them into lifelong learners.
That's beautiful. I love that. And how has your profession changed due to everything that is going on in our world right now?
Right. So like everyone else, our profession has changed pretty significantly, especially as a public library. But you know, in the library world, we've been used to having to evolve for a while, especially as technology has changed over the past couple of decades. So it's been a mindset we're used to, and we've definitely had to pivot quickly.
And what are some of the safety guidelines that the library is putting in place to keep people safe?
We've got things like reduced staff numbers so that we keep each other safe. Things like masks, of course, social distancing our entire space so that everybody's as safe as possible. We've got furniture pretty much removed. Some libraries are really down to a curbside pickup kind of service model. We're doing that quite a lot. Maybe even computer use just by reservation, because a lot of people really need that service. So we're doing a lot more phone business now than we used to do as face-to-face. And of course, all our programming has gone virtual.
Right. So obviously, I would assume that you are someone who loves books. And is that what kind of inspired you to be a librarian, or how did that come about?
Well, you're right. I do love books and always have, luckily. But honestly, I'm kind of an accidental librarian. It's not what I set out to do originally. But the force runs strong with librarians, and I am a second generation librarian. So, you know, my background was in music and performing and working with kids, especially growing up at RCT. So after graduating with a music degree, I was really struggling to find meaningful work. And cue my mom, the librarian, she kept kind of telling me about positions at her library or other libraries that work with kids and, you know, do story times. And I was like, no, Mom, that's your thing. But finally I admitted, you know what, Mom's right. I should have known. She's right. And I started library work almost 20 years ago and got my master's to be an official degreed librarian. And here I am, still loving it 20 years later.
Nice. Well, our question, you probably didn't hear it, but the beginning of our show was, what was our favorite books? And I would love to know, like, what was your favorite book growing up?
Oh, I love it. Okay, so I had to bring goodies, of course, since I'm at the library. But one of the very first books that I remember just loving, like, yes, this book got me, was Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day.
Yes.
Yes, I loved it. Just so funny, and one I love reading to my kids now. So that one was the one that came to mind.
Right. And then now as an adult, what would you say that your favorite book is?
Right. That is like the hardest question you can ask a librarian, Laura. It's like a Sophie's Choice.
Sophie's Choice, sorry.
Yes. So I kind of cheated. I grabbed a few, and I'll be lightning fast with just a few.
Right.
So I love audiobooks. That is really how I enjoy a lot of my reading. So this is one of my favorite audiobooks and series. It's the Bloody Jack series. It's for young adults, and it's just like this great character adventure with strong female characters and a lot of the golden age of piracy, which I don't know why, I just love it. So that's one of my favorites in kind of the young adult genre. One that I thought of that I have to listen to also on audiobook every single year is David Sedaris' Holidays on Ice, which includes of course, Santaland Diaries.
Right.
And I especially love the audiobook because he narrates it, and you cannot miss his rendition of Silent Night as sung by Billie Holiday.
I'm sure it's incredible.
It is hysterical. And then one of my all-time favorites, and I think I remember this is one that you like too, Laura.
Yes.
Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe.
I love that book.
Yeah, I just love this book and its absolute charm. And it's one I've reread several times. And I'm really excited because she's actually got a follow-up coming out in October called The Wonder Boy of Whistle Stop, where she revisits Whistle Stop through Bud Threadgood, Stump Threadgood, as an adult. So I'm excited about that.
Cool. Oh, Something to look forward to. I love it.
Totally.
Oh my gosh. Well, Bonnie, thank you so much for sharing all the information with us today about the library and what they're doing to keep us safe, and some books that we could check out if we have not. And I know you have 2 little ones at home, and hopefully you can read some of those amazing books to them. And we appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us today.
Oh, thank you, Laura. My pleasure, and happy reading with all your reading, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Laura, and thank you, Bonnie, for helping keeping us informed during this pandemic time. We love our books. Well, now it's time for Broadway Trivia, and I'm not sure that I see that we have a guest, but what's going on? Take it away, Rachel.
Thank you, Deidre. And now it is time for perhaps the most exciting of all of our exciting episodes of Broadway Trivia, because we are so glad to have back the winningest of all winners on Broadway Trivia, our own personal Ken Jennings. I think that's the Jeopardy guy. I'm pretty sure
Yes, it is.
Laura Alley is back, y'all. And
Back and ready to go.
now, I don't know if you were able to watch last week's RCT360.
I did watch, and I learned.
And we had a very valiant battle and a surprise whooping on Broadway Trivia by a certain lady, also of beautiful hair and good genes. And everyone will please welcome back to Broadway Trivia. Hey, look, everybody, it's Michelle Laval.
Hi! Oh,
Uh-oh, it's on now. It's on.
you're
on
running out
now.
of people. You're running out of
So-
people.
For those who may not know, Laura Alley and Michelle Laval are sisters. Is that correct? You are in fact sisters.
That is what it says on my birth certificate, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies, now I already know what Laura's buzzer sound / flail is gonna be. You wanna give us a shoot of it right
Sure.
now? Works every time. Michelle, you gonna go with what we used last week? What do you got?
You know, I only found one flip-flop, so I went with something else that all mothers need lots of, and that's a large bottle of ibuprofen.
Oh, very
So-
good.
I'm gonna make this sound.
Hey, that's annoying, but I like it.
All right, ladies, because we're all booked up this week, our Broadway trivia questions are going to primarily focus on musicals that were made from books. See what we did there? So be thinking about that in your answers. Are you ready? Doesn't matter. Here comes question 1. Which of the following books by Roald Dahl has not been made into a musical? Is it A, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, B, Matilda, C, the BFG, oh, Laura,
C.
C, the BFG is actually the correct answer. That is the correct answer. D was James and the Giant Peach, which I didn't actually know was a musical, but it is. So one of my favorite books growing up. I loved Roald Dahl books so
Right?
much.
They're the best.
Okay, Laura's back, y'all. Let's, just be aware, Michelle, but let's keep going. Let's keep the magic happening. Question number 2. This musical, based on a 1975 novel by E.L. Doctorow, chronicles the lives of different social classes in turn-of-the-century New York. Oh, shaky.
Ragtime.
Yes, Ragtime is correct.
Very nice.
1-1. I didn't even get to the spoiler part about, and it's also about the music that was popular at the time.
Nice.
So yes, Ragtime. The music in that
Good
show.
musical.
Oh, the music in that show.
Yeah, one of my
Okay.
faves.
So good. All right, question number 3, y'all. This musical, based on a popular novel by Alice Walker, debuted on Broadway in 2005, closed in 2008, and then reopened in 2015 when it won Tonys for Best Revival and Best Actress for its star Cynthia Erivo. Shake. I think I'm gonna give it to Shaky.
Color purple.
What was that?
Color purple.
The color purple is correct. Correct.
I love
Excellent.
that too.
2-1, 2-1. Looking really good for you, Michelle. Another show with really great music in it, but I didn't realize it was such a short period of time that like it wasn't open before it revived. Whatever.
Right.
You do you, Color Purple. Okay, here's a bonus question that is tangentially related, and I can't talk today, related to The Color Purple. So, Whoopi Goldberg made a name for herself in the movie of The Color Purple back in the 80s.
What was your question?
I know.
Question
I know.
Just guessing.
I'm
very
just gonna
curious.
guess.
I want to know what both of you have to say for yourselves.
I
right
was
now,
gonna say
Laura.
Sister Act. I'm going with Sister Act, but I could be wrong.
I
Or
was going with Ghost.
Okay,
So-
well then, Michelle won because the question, smarties that didn't let me
finish
finish.
the question. Sorry.
No, I let them you finish. That's why I had to jump. I knew it.
The question was, Whoopi got her O for her EGOT in her role in this movie that was subsequently made into a musical, which
Got it.
was in fact
Ghost.
Ghost.
Jump the
So-
gun.
I award neither of you points, but if I had to award some points, it would be for Michelle, who actually somehow read my mind on that. So congratulations.
You
All
have
right.
to be so quick to catch Laura. Like you
That's the
can't
problem.
hesitate.
Yeah, that's the problem. She's very, very fast.
You got to
All
just
right.
go.
Not smart, just fast.
No, both. You are fast and smart, and you're both beautiful snowflakes. Here's our next question. I don't even know which question we're on now. I'm so distracted. How many pages are in Ron Chernow's biography of Alexander Hamilton, on which the musical is based? Oh, go ahead and chime in before I give all the answers.
I'm
Why
gonna
don't
go
you?
with, wait for the options here.
Okay, thank you, Laura.
Mhm.
Is it A, 512, B, 1050, C, 818, or D, 360?
Eh,
Okay,
Go
Laura?
with B, the 1,000 one.
That is incorrect. That's incorrect, Laura. I can't keep you two. I don't know. Michelle, you got something?
Could you repeat the options for me one more
Are
time?
you Googling? You
please?
cannot Google. No Google.
I have nothing. I have
Okay,
nothing
the-
but a trampoline.
The
Google.
3 remaining options are 512, 818, 360.
I'm gonna go with 818.
That is correct.
Oh, lucky.
That is correct.
It
818.
sounded like
Okay.
You know.
Well, it's kind of a foregone conclusion that Michelle's already won, but let's just say that this was a tiebreaker question, which it's not. Michelle, Laura, you both know this.
Yes.
The people demand. They demand that we end every Broadway trivia, or as many as possible, with the classic question, I give you lyrics in the voice of a pirate that leans slightly Irish, and you tell me the name of the song and the show it's from. Again, I cannot stress this enough. We don't want to do it.
No.
We don't, but the people demand it.
Mhm.
So here we go. Let's pretend that this question matters.
I know.
Here's your last question. There is a room that's full of toys. There are Laura.
That is Castle on a Cloud from Les Mis.
Very good, very good. If that had,
Doesn't matter though. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter, but you ended strong, and I think that's
Yeah.
really what you want in life.
That matters,
is to-
right?
is to close
Yes.
it out strongly.
Strong.
So, once again, 2-week streak from the beautiful, talented Michelle Laval. I will let you gals work out any sort of issues that come out of this, but I'm proud of you both. You did amazing. Michelle, thank you for being back with us. Laura, so good to have you back. Deidre, back to you.
Michelle shall win. Michelle shall win. Wait, oh, excuse me. Well, thank you so much for that Broadway trivia. Of course, we all know that it takes a little magic for Laura to lose. So congratulations, Michelle. I don't think we'll see you anytime soon, though. Well, now it's time to head right over to Whatcha. What you got for us, Laura?
Welcome to Whatcha, my segment where I give you recommendations on things to do, things to try, maybe things to eat. But we start, as always, with our Were You Watching trivia question. Congratulations to last week's winner, Amanda Thompson, who correctly answered The Real Housewives to the question, what did Michelle Duvall say she watched at night to brighten her spirits? Congratulations, Amanda. Your prize is on the way. All right, are we ready for this week's question? The question for this week's episode is, 20 years ago, the cast of a particular movie was announced. What was that movie? The first person to answer correctly in the comments below will receive a fun prize. All right, on to part 2 of Whatcha. I'm going to do a Whatcha reading. Since this week's theme is all about books, I thought I would give you my top 5 reads of the week. All right, here we go. Number 1, people I want to punch in the face. You know, because after 6 months of quarantine, there's a list. Number 4, how to talk to your cat about gun safety. A must read for any cat owner. I know my cat Charlie is a little on the trigger finger, so very important. Gun safety for cats. The next one is Unicorns Are Jerks. This book is going to expose the cold, hard, sparkly truth that unicorns are jerks. And next, one of my personal favorites, While Daddy's Doing Time, counting the days till he's back on the streets. Probably a good read for anyone who has a family member in the penal system. And the last one on my list, my favorite read of the week is Always Ask a Man. Because, really? Back to you, Deidre.
Thank you, Laura. Those books are almost as good as some of your previous man crush lists that you gave us. Right, Rachel?
Shame.
I love so many of those books, and I really need to talk to the feral cats in my neighborhood about gun safety, so thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime.
So good. By the way, Laura, I know a lot of our watchers and are really interested in knowing. We're so glad to have you back, but they want to know, how are you feeling?
I'm doing great. It's been about 2 weeks since my surgery. I am up and walking around, feel, I would say, about 75% normal, just tired, but doing great and have no pain and feel fantastic.
Well, it is a blessing to have you back with us. And ladies, can you believe we're already to the end of the webcast?
Can't believe it.
That was right. It was a wonderful time for us to get together and talk about these books and the librarian who talked to us. I mean, I loved this episode. By the way, if you are looking for a good bookmark for your book, you can get a free download of a Harry Potter bookmark at carriel.com. Just go to the website and Google on their search Harry Potter and have free little, what are they called? Bookmarks. Have free bookmarks. And you don't even have to go out. It's like a socially distant bookmark that you can print out yourself. I love it. So anyway, here we are at the end. So much to wrap up. So Rachel, what do you have for us?
So, want to let you know about our upcoming shows that are going to be live in the RCT Theater, subject to a lot of cleaning, a lot of CDC protocols to make sure that you are all as safe as you possibly can be. But we have a super fun series of live radio plays coming up. In September, you can enjoy Arsenic and Old Lace. In October, how about Dracula? That's going to be a fun one. And let's end the year together in a classic, It's a Wonderful Life. Go to rcttheater.com for more information or call the box office for tickets.
And tonight's 8:00 p.m. performance of our Porch Light Outdoor Cabaret is sold out. So if
We're
you want
booked
to come,
up. We're all booked up.
if you want to come, you can, because we want to keep you safe, so we can't put any extra people out there. But if you want to catch us next time, Saturday, September 26th at 8:00, and the theme will be Comedy Tonight for our second round of Porch Light. Make sure you get your tickets now because it will sell out. Back to you, Deidre.
Well, that's wonderful that we're all booked up there. So yes, get your tickets soon. I actually missed out on this round. Maybe maybe I'll go sit in the parking lot. Well, we're also trying to keep our lights on, and we've got something really special for the kids. So we have some programming this fall. With our classes, we have Broadway boot camps for ages 10 through 16. It's in-person classes, and you can get your kids away from those screens while they're going to be trying out voice and dance and performance skills. And of course, we will have all of the CDC protocol and guidelines in place because we care about safety for you and your kids. Laura?
I don't have anything else on my paper, but I'm very excited that we're at the end of our webcast. Maybe Rachel?
All I can say is I'm so glad to have you back, Laura. It's wonderful to see your smiling, beautiful face. We loved you. We miss you so much and can't wait for next week.
Thank you, girls. I missed you guys. This was a goal to get here, so I feel I'm feeling good that I'm here and I made it.
We do. We love you so much, and it's been so wonderful to have you here. And it's been so wonderful to have all of you here who are watching with us. And we can't wait to see you again next week. So stay safe. And until then, I am.
You are.
We are.
RCT.
I never know what we're going to say.
Okay,
We'll see what happens.
we'll see what happens.
No.
Here we go.
No one messes with those Carter girls on trivia, though, man. Y'all are.
Be afraid.
Bye, Rachel.
She does that every time. I wanted you to say Leviosa. No, it's Leviosa.
I don't get to read as much as I used to back in the day, and I miss that. But I know what. I've got to start this over again. Can I start this over again?
Thank you so much, Laura and Bonnie. It was great to hear from her. Back up.
It's like one of those little golden books that you would read with like Dick and
So
Jane.
happy.
They're waiting for Daddy to get home from the big house.
Might I say, you're on fire today, Deidre.
All right, we put a witch hat on her and she's ready to.
Or do you?
What am I doing? Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
True.
Okay.
I will
All right.
B.
Very charming.
I didn't have anything else on my paper, but I could have made it up.
Okay. Okay, that's not
Sorry.
right. Okay.
Again, I can't read very well.
I'm happy
And
to be
I
here.
just saw your name after mine, and so
I know you went out of order, but it was all right. You went out of order, but it was all good. We
Cool.
made it.
It's fine.
I was like, I'm just gonna jump in there. I'll be good.
All right, here we go.
Hang on one second. What are you doing? Okay, hurry. Rolling time crunch. Okay, get out. Oh,
So we won Group of the Year at the Johnny High Musical Review in Fort Worth.
you fancy.
We had suede chaps. Yeah, that was a thing.
Suede
Okay.
Chaps is going to be the name of your next group.
Heck yes, suede chaps.
Wait, chat.
Suede chaps.
Suede Chaps. Welcome to Suede Chaps.
Gotta wait for the question to be asked before you start shaking the koozie.
Who did it?
Always ask a man.
That's nuts.
It says
Holy cat.
more than 200,000 copies sold. To men, I'm sure. A live feed of just Deidre eating
It's a
sandwiches.
live feed
Oh,
of
no,
Deidre,
Rachel,
I'm okay with
Deidre
that.
on sandwich.
We just watch her. How's that taste? Is that pumpernickel or sourdough? How's that taste?
And